What's up, guys? We are taking a look at a new line of figures from Hasbro that I am personally very excited to dig into because I'm a big fan of this game. I have played it since day one. It's pretty much the only game that I consistently still play these days in the little time that I have to be a gamer. So today we're taking a look at one of the 2-packs from the Hasbro Overwatch Ultimates line. We are taking a look at the Ana in the SHRIKE skin and Soldier 76 in his default skin. These guys come packaged in a Overwatch styled 2-pack, so it's very clean and crisp with the white. You've got character artwork on the front, and then the figures are in the window, and the back of the package has some stats for each character, more character artwork, and then a lineup for the figures that are going to be available in this first wave. I really like this packaging. It very much gives me an Overwatch kind of loot box look and feel, which is very cool. It's very fitting with the idea behind this line. So let's do it. Let's pull these two out and take a look. And here they are out of the package. We have got our Ana in her SHRIKE skin on the left, and we've got our Soldier 76 on the right. And I gotta say, these are figures that, like I mentioned, are just ones that I've really been looking forward to. I'm a huge fan of the game. I'm a huge fan of the character designs. And frankly, I've been waiting a long time for figures to come out. And of course, I know that Figma has made a handful, but I've never really wanted to get into the Figmas. A couple seemed okay, a couple didn't seem all that great, and for the price, I just didn't want to jump into it. I've also been a pretty staunch believer that Figma will never finish the line, and even if they do, they'll be way too expensive. You're never going to get an affordable Reinhardt out of them, but we're getting an affordable Reinhardt from Hasbro, so I'm very happy with what this line has already offered, and I'm really curious to see how it goes. Of course, we're looking at only 2 figures today, arguably one of the mascot characters for the game, Soldier 76, and then we've got Ana here in an interesting skin because I'm not sure why they aren't going all default skins with these particular figures. I do like Ana's SHRIKE skin, though. It's not my preferred when I use the Ghoul skin from the Halloween events, but I really do like this one. So we're going to start with her, take a look at articulation, see how she moves around, and then just go through all the nitty-gritty regarding her sculpt and paint. So as far as how Ana moves around, you can really think of these figures as somewhat like Marvel Legends. She's not exactly what you might expect as far as a female figure goes, but she's very similar. So the head is on what appears to be a ball peg, because you've got a little bobble side to side, back and forth, so she looks down pretty well. The hood and the shawl kind of gets in the way a little bit, and then you've got rotation. This hood is a separate piece that sits over top, so it'll have to be moved with the head. Arms go out, they rotate. You've got single hinged elbows, so very similar to a female Marvel Legends, and then you've got hinges and rotation at the wrist. She has got an upper diaphragm twist, but she also has an ab crunch, so she goes back and forth, and then she of course twists up there. The legs go out, they kick forward and backward. Her rubbery shawl will get in the way a little bit. You've got a thigh cut up here as well, so you can twist those legs up there in that joint. It's basically just a ball peg, so you can kind of cut in and out and twist up there. And then you've got double jointed knees, so you can see this again will get in the way, but they go back pretty decently. And then you've got rocker and hinge down there at those ankles. So, you know, basically what you'd expect to get out of a Marvel Legends figure for the most part. I do think she has pretty good mobility. Unfortunately, where she kind of comes short is that the single jointed elbows really make it difficult for her to really hold her sniper rifle in a very sniperish kind of pose, which we'll talk about when we get to accessories, which is a bit unfortunate. It's not a huge deal breaker for me, but it's definitely, well, that kind of sucks kind of a thing. As far as the overall look and feel here, what's really cool about this line is that I think we're going to see very little parts reuse. There's a lot here that you're not really going to see on other figures, and I like the fact that, frankly, this is a very unique looking figure and a very unique looking toy, especially for stuff we're seeing in Hasbro's line. So you've got, you know, things like the little injector here over on her left arm. You've got got the flap on her waist with all of her supplies. You've of course got this nice rubbery shawl which has a lot of paint detail on it. You can see it looks ragged from the front, but when you get to it, it's actually very much meant to look this way. So you've got silver and gunmetal and light blue on that cast plastic there. I like the leg guards. They look very much kind of techno, very futuristic, very fitting with Overwatch. You've got the biotic grenades on her bandolier that runs down, and this is a free-floating piece, so it sits over top. Again, this hood is a free-floating piece. It's got some paint on it as well. You've got the Overwatch emblem there on her right shoulder, and there's just a lot going on here. I really, really like the way this particular figure looks. I'm not sure, again, why they decided to go this route for Anna. I wonder if it's maybe they had only so many heads they could use photoreal on and they wanted to not use one for Anna, because obviously we don't see her face here. I'm not too upset about that though, because again, I like this skin. It's different. It's kind of, a little more mysterious for Anna, and of course you've got that really cool mask head sculpt. You've got the little viewfinder that's there painted really cleanly on the center. So there's just a lot to like here. It's a cool design. It doesn't necessarily have to mean anything to folks who maybe aren't interested in Overwatch. This can be just another kind of sniper stealth type of figure if you just wanted to get something that was kind of different. But the sculpt is on point, and the paint applications on this particular figure are one that I'm very, very, very happy with. Now for Soldier 76, he is pretty similar to Anna, but a little bit different, and you can kind of consider him in the same vein of Marvel Legends men being a little different from the women. He does have kind of that telltale difference. So the head can go up and it can go down. He is on a ball hinge, so you can see there's a disc hinge in there. He goes down just a little bit, and then he goes up only slightly, and then of course you can rotate a little bit. You've got arms that go out, they rotate. You've got a bicep swivel there. You've got double jointed elbows, so that's kind of a differentiator between the two. You've got rotation and hinge at those wrists. He has got the same upper diaphragm twist, which allows him to go backwards and forwards and side to sides, but he also has the ab crunch, which allows him to go really far back if you really needed him to. There is no waist twist on this guy. Legs go out, they kick forward and back. You've got a thigh cut, an actual thigh cut here. It's not just a twist at the ball in there. And then you've got double jointed knees, which go pretty far back. He has kind of baggy thighs there, so that kind of prohibits him a little bit. And then you've got rocker and hinge down at those ankles. So he has pretty good range of motion. I would say comparatively, he's definitely got a little bit better range of motion than Anna does, which if you consider these Marvel Legends-esque, you kind of understand why. Now, as far as sculpt and paint, again, it's another instance where I'm really, really happy with this figure. Mine does have a few little paint nicks here and there, but overall, I think he looks really, really nice. You've, of course, got a lot of paint going on with this guy just because of the fact that his jacket does have a number of different colors. So you've got the white, you've got the silver for the zipper, the red stripes, the blue piping, and he's got the red gloves. And I just like him, and then you've got the big 76 on his back there. I do have some of those nicks down here as well. There just seems to be a little bit of sloppiness going on with this particular figure, which I can't really say why. It just seems to be luck of the draw on this particular guy. I think some of that I'll be able to rub off, but it's still an annoyance and a bit of a nuisance. Sculpt wise, he is of course slightly larger than Anna, so it makes a little bit of sense. He is supposed to be, a super soldier. He is beefier, he's larger. He's still kind of your average size figure, but he's definitely a little bit bigger than Anna, and we'll see him side by side again as well. He's got a pistol in a holster. It's just sculpted in there. He's got grenades on his shoulder, and we've got him on his waistband there. You've got his kind of techno boots and shin pads down there. I really, really just like the way the jacket's done. It very much looks exactly like the game. I really love the big 76 emblazoned on the back. And then the head sculpt, I think, looks really fantastic. You've got the visor, the scar, the kind of salt and pepper hair going on, and then the mouth guard. Everything about Soldier 76's head, and this particular head sculpt anyway, this particular skin, really does it for me. It's not my skin. I would have loved to have had a Grillmaster 76, but I don't think we're ever going to see one of those. But this looks really good, and it very much evokes that thought of what he looks like in-game, just brought to life in figure form. So outside of the fact that I do have a few little minor things here and there as far as paint mishaps, I think he looks fantastic and very much fits exactly what I was looking for out of a Soldier 76 figure. Now, I figure some people might want to see size comparisons for these figures because, of course, they're a new line, but they very much give you that Marvel Legends look and feel, and they very much fit in that same way. So you've got, at least as far as for me, some of the most recent Legends that I've gotten a hold of. We've got our relatively larger Hercules, and we've got one of these slimmer-bodied living laser figures here. You can see that Anna is, of course, slimmer. She's slightly shorter than 76, and they scale pretty well. So Soldier 76 seems like a slightly beefier average height kind of guy compared to Living Laser, and they are of course a little dwarfed by Hercules, but they very, very much will fit in with your other figures that are in this particular type of Hasbro 1/12 scale. Where these figures really kind of ratchet things up a bit is when it comes to accessories, and frankly I didn't realize exactly how much stuff these sets came with until I got them in hand. So in total, you have got 9 different accessories that come across for these two figures. Anna has one more than Soldier 76, but they have basically, exactly what they need for the most part. I'm really, really happy with the spread here. So to start, Anna comes with an extra set of hands. So she's got these kind of open palm resting style hands. You can maybe use these to hold the butt of the sniper rifle, or just use them as a style pose type of thing. Maybe patting someone to sleep after she's knocked someone out. We have got her sleep dart gun. So this guy is just kind of gray plastic with yellow paint on there, and she holds it pretty well. If one thing that I've had a problem with across both of these figures, for me personally, is that getting the guns in their hands took a lot more work than I would have wanted them to at first attempt. After a while, the hands kind of loosened up, but they were just really, really, really tight when it comes to how the fingers were posed. So we've got this, and then you have got her sniper rifle here. It's basically just like the little pistol, gray gunmetal plastic, but it's got a little silver paint on there, and she can hold this okay. Again, I mentioned that I find it very difficult to get her to hold it in an actual sniper pose. Just because of the fact that she has the single jointed elbows. It makes it hard to get it in that position. You can still get it across pretty well for some of her other more iconic poses. And then the other accessory that she comes with is this guy. So we've actually got a blast effect, and this pops over the actual barrel of the rifle here, so it shows that she's actually shooting it, which I think is great. Just the idea of these figures having so much stuff right out the gate is pretty phenomenal, especially considering they're basically the same price as Marvel Legends. Now, as far as Soldier goes, he has got an extra set of hands. We have got a pair of just fist hands, so both of these hands are gripping hands. This is a trigger finger hand. This is just a gripping hand. These are straight fists. You have got his rifle, which, this thing is humongous. It's got more paint on it than Anna's gun, so he's got the red, the white, and the blue. It's sculpted really nicely, painted really, really well, very crisp and clean. And then he also has an effect piece, and you pop this guy into the actual kind of muzzle that's down here at the end for his helix rockets for his alt fire from the game itself. So you've got kind of the smoke that are coming out of the 3 rockets, and I think they work pretty well. I'm really, really happy that they included this. There's kind of one specific way that they sit a little better than others, but I'm really, really happy with this. It's really cool to get something like this, again, just like Anna getting that blast effect, but this is a little bit more amped up. There's a lot more to it. It's more plastic, and of course more paint, and it's a very, very specific and quintessential thing to one of his most important abilities. So overall, for my first go at these Hasbro Overwatch figures, I'd say more often than not, they really nailed it with these two. I do have a couple issues here and there, nothing that is really ruining these figures for me at all. Anna, the big thing is that I find it difficult for posing her with that sniper rifle in some instances, and 76 does have some paint issues here and there. Some that I think I can fix though, and in general, I just think he looks, in particular of the two, I think he looks pretty spot on. I really, really dig his design, but I really like these figures in general. They come with a lot of stuff. For the price point, you really can't go wrong, and I really, really think that they are going to kind of take the wind out of Figma's sails when it comes to finishing or even getting really far with this line. I really hope that this line has some legs, that they can run with it for a while, because if these two are any indication, then we're going to get a fantastic set of figures that really go above and beyond what I really expected to get. All of the sculpt, all the paint, the tons of accessories here figure really do it for me, and I'm really excited to see where this line goes. So that's going to do it for this look at the Hasbro Overwatch Ultimates Soldier 76 and Anna figures. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and until next time.